Clemson football always has star quarterbacks, starting with guys such as Deshaun Watson, Trevor Lawrence, and more recently DJ Uiagalelei. Everyone loves to talk about the next Mac Jones, Joe Burrow, or Zach Wilson, and you never think you're going to find a guy like that at a big-time school. But in today's video, I might be able to change your mind. Today, we're going to talk about a guy who has beaten all the odds. He was never supposed to play a snap at Clemson, he was overlooked his entire life, and he's put in the work to potentially become the starter at some point. We're going to meet the future of Clemson football, and his name is Hunter Helms. I've had the opportunity to talk to both Hunter and his dad, and he's one of the more inspiring stories in college football. Today we're to discuss that, everything you need to know about Helms, and why he could be the future of Clemson football. But before we get into that, nearly 80% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel, so be sure to take a quick moment to hit that button, as I really appreciate it, and you won't want to miss out on any more college football content. Now let's get started. Hunter Helms always loved football, and he grew up in the state of South Carolina. His mother was a Clemson fan and his father was a South Carolina fan, but he always found himself favoring the Clemson Tigers a little bit. He always loved football and was excellent at it from a young age, and his dad was tough-minded and was a coach, so he definitely rubbed off on his son. He really started to break out in middle school, and we get his first major break when he went to a camp at Troy, which at the time was led by head coach Neil Brown. Helms eventually became a starter as a sophomore, and him and current South Carolina quarterback Luke Doty were the top two guys in the state, and while they're both super competitive, they're good friends. Hunter is from Columbia, South Carolina, so some people thought the Gamecocks would make sense. Will Muschamp and that staff decided to take Doty instead, and Helms would have to look for a different option. He was the hardest worker around in high school, as apparently he would get there around 6 o'clock each morning to watch film and would be one of the last people to leave the practice field. He eventually became a star in their high school football system, and he'd have to make a major decision on what he'd want to do at college football. His mentor and trainer would become a guy by the name of Perry Orth, and in case you are unfamiliar with him, he was a walk-on quarterback who eventually became a starter for South Carolina. It definitely rubbed off on him, as Helms would eventually make the decision to become a walk-on at Clemson instead of taking other scholarship offers. The South Florida Bulls wanted his talents, as former Clemson coach Jeff Scott was there, and Hunter would have to decide between potentially playing for the Bulls and eventually starting, or reaching his dream of being a Clemson quarterback. He would decide on the latter and would pick becoming a preferred walk-on over multiple scholarship offers. According to 24/7 Sports, he wasn't going to wow you, as he was only a 3-star recruit, the number 86 pro-style quarterback, and the 2,382nd best player in the class of 2020, but occasionally scouts get things wrong, and they can never measure someone's character and how hard they work. Hunter would go on to have a spectacular senior season, as he passed for 4,126 yards and 48 touchdowns, and led them to a second straight region title and a state semifinal appearance. He finished his high school prep career with nearly 10,000 passing yards and 98 touchdowns. With Trevor and DJ ahead of him, Helms was never supposed to see the field in 2020, but just like he had his whole life, he proved people wrong. He became the first ever walk-on quarterback to Clemson to throw 2 touchdowns in a game, and that would come against Georgia Tech. Going into 2021, many expected him to be the third-string quarterback once again, but once backup quarterback Tyson Fomachon went down, and DJ would get hurt a little bit in the spring game, he'd have an opportunity to show his talents, and he'd go 11 of 16 for 88 yards with an interception. The whole time he looked calm and poised, threw the ball confidently, and made good decisions. Dabo Swinney had this to say, quote, "I thought he did some good things today. He's done some good things this spring. He's still a developing guy." As one thing we do know with Dabo Swinney is that he will take any player. Doesn't matter if you're a 5-star or a negative star, if you want to work hard and he thinks you have a chance to help the team win, he is going to put you in and play you. Hunter Helms is the definition of that guy, and he's someone who is not afraid of competition. While DJ Uiagalelei probably has 2 more years, Helms will have his opportunity when he is gone, or if DJ gets hurt. If DJ gets injured during the season, Helms will likely be the backup and will be forced to start. After interviewing Hunter personally, he's excited for that potential opportunity, but at the end of the day, he just wants to help the team win and support his fellow teammates. After DJ is gone, he'll likely battle it out with Cade Klubnik for that starting job, and with the way Hunter has worked and persevered throughout his career, I have no doubt he will one day get his opportunity to become the starting quarterback. Here's a quote his father had to say. "A lot of people were scared to be a part of that quarterback room with a bunch of 4- and 5-star quarterbacks. If my best ain't good enough, then at least I'll know." Hunter has that mindset that he's at least going to go in and work his tail off and give it all he has, and if he fails, that's just how it goes. Guys like Mac Jones and Zach Wilson and Joe Burrow were never really supposed to be much. Yes, Burrow was a 4-star and Mac Jones was a late riser, but these guys were never supposed to be a part of these big-time schools' plans, and they just kept working hard and waiting for their opportunity to come, and Hunter Helms could be the next one of those stories. I really enjoyed talking to the Helms family, and I'm really excited for his future at Clemson. What do you guys think, though? Will Hunter Helms ever get a chance to start at Clemson? Who could be another guy who could be a Mac Jones-like story? And what topic should I do next? Be sure to let me know down in the comment section. Like today's video, subscribe if you're new here, and check out all my other videos on the end screen, including my Clemson preview for 2021. I hope to see you guys again soon, but until next time, peace.